Hello my friends and welcome. Firstly, let's go to the front lines update, and we have fantastic news about it. Ukrainian army gained quite a lot of the territory and we are very close to Andriivka. Let's go to the timeline. You'll be very surprised. So it was yesterday and it is today. We may say that the Ukrainian army crossed this important hill and already on a down ground. It is a perfect position to take Andriivka under control and move even forward. Also, with that kind of advancement, you may see that we may even encircle Klishivka village from this side, and even move forward across the valley. From the information I have, the village is mostly cleared from the Russian occupiers, and soon our infantry will take it. The same destiny will be over here, and that opens the great possibility for Ukrainian army to achieve the control over this vast territory and then move to Opetne and Odarivka. By doing so, we're gonna cut the very important road for the Russian Federation that they used to supply their military in the Bakhmut city from the south. From what I see, there was also the movement in Kurdimivka, just a little one, but it's also very important. Great news, the Ukrainian army continued to push against the Russian defense, and as you can see, successfully. About the Russian assault in Luhansk Oblast, Ukrainian army was able to stabilize the front line. There was no break through the Ukrainian defense. As you can see, the defense goes all across those villages that the Ukrainian army uses to construct some sort of the defense line, but Russia was capable to take this territory over here and they entered the local small village. However, as I say to you, their attack was repelled by Ukrainian defense because Ukraine sent more reinforcements to that area, as I say to you. We also have the update from the south. The Ukrainian army got success. Day by day, we are moving closer to Robotyne. Let's go to the timeline. It was yesterday and it is today. Ukraine continued to push from this place and also from this position. Soon, Robotyne will be liberated. I'm sure about it. The most important job that Ukrainian army does now on the south is to demine the minefields. If we're gonna do it successfully, Ukrainian army has the major chances to break through the Russian defense lines. By the way, we have the report from the intelligence service of the United States of America that Russia constructed the fake defense lines on the south. The idea for Russians is to create the fake trench and mine it, so then Ukrainian army goes into those positions, they may blow up all of the trench. Actually, they've took these tactics from the Ukrainian army. We did it in the Bakhmut. I guess not with the trenches, but with the buildings. Then Wagners went into the abandoned buildings. They were remotely destroyed. So we're gonna monitor the situation over here. Also, there is the movement from Ukrainian side over here near to Kamensk. It was yesterday and it is today. The gray zone extended. It means that our forces went on the south. There are some forest lines in that area that Russia uses as the defense line, so it's quite hard to move ahead. The water obstacle over here that you may cross from this position, taking the control over the village Luhave. Many of the Western military analytics say that Ukraine has the big chances for successful counterattack, but again we need more weaponry for that. President Zelensky announced that Ukraine will push stronger and soon it will be the new scale of the counterattack performed by Ukrainian forces. We're all waiting for that. But even with this pace, you may see that Ukraine gets more ground compared to the Russian Federation over here, and we do it constantly, little by little. Yes, the counteroffensive for now is slow, but it's better slow than to have many losses. Alright, this morning was quite interesting for the Russian Federation, especially in Crimea and also in Moscow. Let's speak about Crimea first. As it was reported by the media resources, at least 4 Storm Shadow cruise missiles hit the military targets in Crimea, including a very important logistic base and ammunition warehouse in Jankoy. Ukraine had already performed a couple of the attacks on Jankoy, but not on this scale. This time it was total madness for Russia. They even had to close the railroad connection and announce the evacuation of some of the villages around. Russia definitely suffers a lot because of the Storm Shadow long-range cruise missiles, and they cannot do anything with it. Those missiles are very successful and precise, and almost 100% of them hit the target. One of the explosions in Crimea was filmed on the camera, and you can see that it was quite severe. After that, it was the detonation in this area, and also Russia closed the Kerch Bridge. And this was filmed in Moscow today. Sorry for this watermark, I cannot get rid of that, but you can see the drone just in the middle of the screen. I'll turn on the sound. Very surprised Moscow citizen filming the drone. From this video, I may say that Ukraine again used the Beaver drones that are capable to cover 1000 kilometers of the range. As you can see, one of the drones hit the office building in Moscow. This is not the residential building, and no one sustained any sort of the injuries, because it was the early morning and no one was over there. Some Russian bots in the comment section would obviously say that Ukraine attacks the civilian infrastructure, but it's not like that. Russia uses the anti-drone interference systems that deflect the trajectory of the drones. They say it themselves. So what was the target of the drone? Obviously not the random office building. It was the Russian Ministry of Defense. You may see that building and the smoke behind, because just 300 meters away, drone hit the other building. And if we zoom into the place, you'll see that the Russian Defense Ministry has the air defense system installed just on the roof. The system wasn't able to target the Ukrainian drone or even to identify it from 300 meters range. There were totally 4 of the drones spotted today in Moscow, and all of them hit the random targets, unfortunately, because Russia was able to deflect the trajectory of the drones, as I say to you. But again, the Moscow citizens will see that the war is not just on TV. It's in their city. Ukraine promised more kabooms in occupied Crimea and on the Russian territory. It's the revenge for the Russian attacks on Odessa civilian infrastructure and also grain ports. My friends, there is the drone video that I cannot upload on this platform, but you may check out my Telegram channel. You may find it just in the video description below. So it shows the Ukrainian advancement towards Klishchiivka. The Russian army, or what is left from it in Klishchiivka, really struggles. But Russia still has a very strong army, and it also has its own allies, like China, for example. China supplies lots of the defense equipment to the Russian Federation, as well as FPV drones. For example, as for the drones, Russia got 30 times more drones from China than Ukraine. Totally, Russia paid around $100 million just for the drones. It is outstanding. That is why we need more support from our Western allies, especially the anti-drone weaponry. Ukraine has eliminated one more chief army commander of the Russian Federation. It happened on the south. This was the Colonel Yevgeny Voloshin, who was the main commander of the Leningrad regiment. His regiment is mostly formed from the mobilized Russian citizens. Definitely, Russia has big problems with their military command, especially near to the front lines. Today, Germany officially confirmed that they were able to negotiate the maintenance of the Leopard 2 tanks at the Polish maintenance facility. That is why our tanks are already there on the maintenance. The situation around this maintenance is very strange. Before, Germans say that they canceled the deal with Polish, but now they say that everything is okay. Ukraine, please send your tanks to Poland. Well, I think that those are the awesome news. The situation around the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. Finally, the International Atomic Agency confirmed that there are some of the mines on the territory of the station. Last today, Russia turned one of the reactors, reactor number 4, to the hot stage. Before it was on a cold idle. The hot reactor is much more dangerous than the cold one. My friends, now press the like to this video, and also if you want to support my job, you may find some of the links in the video description just below. Special thanks for my supporters on Patreon and also to my sponsors of this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your awesome support. Guys, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.